legally constitutional formal, legally constitution formal institution, traditional approach. Modern approach, empirical, behavioral, system analysis. Almond Powell, empirical, modern approach, and behavioral politics. Behavioral goal, identify patterns, similarities, difference across the political system, similarities, system approach, Davidson politics is as input output system approach. Structural functional approach. Almond is structural performance function for a system. Structural functional approach. Almond is structural performance function for system. Almond is structure perform function for system. Structural functional approach. Almond is structure performs function for system. Structural functional approach. System approach. Davidson politics as input output system. Structural functional approach. Structure. Goal in identify patterns, similarities, differences across political system. Identify patterns, similarities, difference across political system. System approach, structural functional approach, structural functional. Almond is structure performs function for system. Political culture, Almond verb, attitude, belief, values of citizen. Political socialization, process which political attitude are formed. Political socialization, process by which political attitude are formed. Political socialization. Political development, modernization, nation building, capacity building, dependency theory, underdevelopment due to exploitation by the developed state-society relationship, comparative study of autonomy, corporatism, pluralism, state-society relation, society, comparative study of autonomy, corporatism, pluralism, institutionalism, old formal rules, new norms, formal institution matters, old formal rules, new norms, informal institution matters, state-society relationship, comparative study of autonomy, rational choice, individual acts rationally to maximize utility in politics. Rationally to maximize utility in politics. Comparative method, most similar, most different system design. Comparative method, most similar, most different system design. Regime type, democracy, regime type, democracy, authoritarianism, totalitarianism compared. Regime type, party system, single bi-party, multi-party system across countries. Federalism, Ovarian versus patrimonial versus developmental bureaucracy. Ovarian versus patrimonial. Actually, Ovarian versus patrimonial versus developmental bureaucracy. Revolution. Scopal social revolution compared across France, Russia, China. Social revolution compared across France, Russia, China. Ovarian patrimonial versus developmental bureaucracy. Social revolution compared across France, Russia, China. Social revolution compared across France, Russia, China. Relevance. Help understand India political system in global context. Help understand India political system in global context. Help understand India political system in global context. Revolution. Revolution compared across France, Russia, China. Revolution compared across. Public administration. Implementation of government policy. Public administration. Implementation of government policy. Management of public affairs. Implementation of a government policy. Management of a public affairs. Public administration. Implementation of a government policy. Management of a public affairs. Public administration means implementation of government policy. Management of a public affairs. Public paper. Woodrow Wilson's politics administration. That father of public administration. Woodrow Wilson. Luther Gulick. USTCRB. Planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating, reporting, budgeting. Max Weber, ideal type of bureaucracy, hierarchy, roles. Ideal type of bureaucracy, Max Weber. Hierarchy, roles, merit, impersonality. Scientific management, Taylor, efficiency through time motion study. Standardization, Taylor, efficiency through time motion study. Time motion study. Human relation approach. Mayo Hawthorne experiments. Mayo Hawthorne. Informal groups matter. Human relation approach. Informal groups matter. Formal, informal. Hubbard Hammond. Decision making, bounded rationality. Administrative behavior. Decision making, bounded rationality. Chester Bernard. Decision making, bounded rationality, administrative behavior. Organization as cooperative systems. Arceta's theory of authority. New public administration. Market-based reforms. New public management. Administration. Also, Minburg relevance, equity, client focus, relevance. New public management. Market-based, privatization, result-oriented. Good governance, World Bank, accountability, transparency, participation, rule of law, public choice, Buchan to lock, bureaucrats act in self-interest, administrative law, rules governing powers, duties of administration, rules, governing powers, duties of administration, administrative law, rules governing powers, duties of administration, powers. Duties of administration, delegate legislation, executive makes laws under legislative authority, administrative law, rules governing powers, duties of administration, budget financial statement of estimated income and expenditure, lines and staff, line authority, staff advisory support, hierarchy, chain of command, superior subordinate relationship, span of control, number of subordinates, and manager can effectively supervise. Motivation theories, Maslow Herbert's civil service neutrality, political impartiality, anonymity of a bureaucrat, political impartiality, accountability, answerability and legislature or judiciary public. Accountability and answerability to legislature, judiciary public, accountability, answerability to legislature, judiciary, public, answerability to legislature, judiciary, public, civil service neutrality, political impartiality, anonymity of bureaucrat, motivation theory, Maslow, number of subordinates, span control, subordinates manager, and effectively supervise, e-governance, use of ICT for efficient public service delivery, corruption, abuse of public office for private gain, anti-corruption law, India's public administration, constitutional, parliamentary, developmental, evolving, state of administration also across countries, comparative administration, state of administration across countries,